Discord is paying for teens to give compliments to each other. And while that title sounds very weird, it's not too off. We've been here and done this before when it comes to social media. A new fast-growing app is providing a way for online users to share inspiration and encouragement. At some point in most social media companies' histories, dating all the way back to Facebook's role in global democratization during Arab Spring, early social media success has been focused on positive effects. They're just gonna forget about my boy Tom? They're just gonna do my boy Tom like that? The world has come a long way since Arab Spring, and though many reckonings with both the benefits and risks of social media, including the potential health and wellness impacts on teenagers, Seattle Public Schools recently filed a lawsuit against TikTok, Meta, Snap, and others, alleging a youth mental health crisis caused by social media. I can't see that actually going anywhere. Social media is also facing one of its greatest legal challenges ever, with the Supreme Court poised to review whether Section 230 statute of the Communications Decency Act should provide these companies with immunity from user content liability claims, as has been the case throughout their rise. I don't know much about Statute 230, but I feel like it makes sense that the companies are immune to repercussions from what is posted on their sites, right? Because otherwise, wouldn't that cause like a whole bunch of fucking censorship crackdowns where you literally couldn't say anything? Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like this is something that should just continue. The internet would be unworkable without it. Yeah. Because it's like, Craigslist had to take down the back pages because of human trafficking, or not like back pages, but like the personal ads because of human trafficking. And there was like a law that was pushed that said that like websites are now responsible for that kind of content specifically. So unless you're like a dating app that has moderation teams for that kind of stuff, like all websites took down all that shit. The deal with Section 230 was supposed to be in return for not getting in trouble for what is posted on your site, you would censor nothing. Well, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It also gives immunity to censoring stuff that isn't illegal. I don't know about that. The problem with 230 is that it's not enforced right. The idea is that the platforms are immune, publishers are not. And the level of censorship they do is publisher tier. Okay. Articles poorly worded, but yes, 230 is a good thing in general. Okay. Second, you start to censor stuff, you stop being a provider and start being a publisher. I think I remember people talking about that with like when Facebook was starting to censor stuff as well. Because they stopped being like a platform where they were just a provider for the service. And since they were selectively choosing what content was able to get put out, they were being a publisher at that point. The problem is they've been able to act as publishers by censoring and editorializing with no repercussions. Well, that needs to clearly be put in the text then, right? Problem is platforms censor a ton. That is a problem. 230 is a good thing, but the whole you are either a publisher or a platform doesn't get enforced. Well, time to enforce it then, right? Right? Who enforces that? The point was so they couldn't be held liable for the content on their sites. They were not supposed to do anything except remove illegal and otherwise objectionable. All their censorship is what they call objectionable. Before I read your last sentence, I was about to say, couldn't they just change the definition of objectionable anytime they wanted to? And that's exactly what they did. Censorship is always the answer to people saying bad things. Free speech is not just for speech that you deem valuable. I had to scratch the inside of my throat. But the whole point of free speech is so people can say things you don't like as well. Like if you also aren't going to defend someone saying things that you disagree with or you don't like, then you're not really for free speech. And I kind of go through like this stomach nodding in my Discord all the time as well, because it's like I have to censor certain words as a public figure. As a public figure, if I let certain words be said, in my presence, even if I am not saying those words,
Hell nah.
it could still cause backlash on me. It could still cause people on Twitter to get upsetty spaghetti. And it reminds me of, like, the Sarue drama, where, like, it wasn't just that she was saying the R word, it was that people in her Discord were saying the R word and not getting punished for it. And I like being as lenient as fucking possible. I think context fucking matters. I don't, personally, I don't give a shit what slurs anyone says. I don't give a shit how often someone pops off with, like, the N-word or the F-word or any of these big no, wrong think words. If you want to say it, that's your fucking prerogative. But unfortunately, I have to censor some things, even if I don't want to, because of, like, the platform that I am on and the repercussions it could have for me professionally. And I don't like that. I don't like having to participate in a moderate amount of bootlicking to continue to survive. You know, I dislike it, but I have to do it. If you're not going to get rid of it, then each company should have to legally declare themselves as one or the other, rather than being both and going back and forth as suits them. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. It's a sucky situation. It very much is. It very much is. And it definitely clashes with, like, my personal thoughts on free speech a little bit. But it's like, I fucking hate it. Like, if it wasn't an issue, if I wouldn't get, like, blacklisted from companies, if I wouldn't get, like, crusaded on Twitter, I would have, like, literally nothing censored in my Discord. Except for, obviously, like, actually illegal things. Actually illegal things would still be censored, which I think is understandable. Political speech already has been defined, where the whole lies is TOS wanting to police speech to create bad situations on purpose. Yeah. They're using it as both a shield and a sword for themselves, and we get fucked. I agree. And I wouldn't want to be, like, I wouldn't want someone arbitering my speech. And the way I look at it is, because I wouldn't want anyone arbitering my speech or telling me what I can and can't say or do, I don't want to do that to other people, right? I don't want to tell other people what they can and can't do. And I don't understand how these other moral busybodies are okay with trying to get rid of things or ruin people's lives, because it feels like throwing stones from glass houses, right? Like, they're probably not a perfect person. They've probably done some shit. So how are they gonna get angry that this other person has made a mistake, right? Or has done something that they don't like? Maybe it's not even a mistake. It's just, I don't know. It's fucking weird and dumb to me. Getting high on having power over being able to, like, ruin someone else. They think they're doing the right thing. What's that fucking quote? That, like, living under a robber baron or whatever is, like, better than living under someone who thinks they're morally in the right, because, like, at least the cruelty of the robber baron will sleep sometimes, but the moral busybody has, like, express permission to, like, just be cruel forever because they think they're doing the right thing and they're doing what's best for you. What? The surest way to work up a crusade in favor of some good cause is to promise people they will have a chance of maltreating someone, to be able to destroy with good conscience, to be able to behave badly and call your bad behavior righteous indignation. That is the height of psychological luxury, the most delicious of moral treats. I felt like I was reading the internal monologue of a games journalist just there. There do exist people who crave the boot on their neck. Of all tyrannies, a tyranny sincerely excised for the good of its victims may be the most oppressive. It would be better to live under robber barons than under omnipotent moral busybodies. The robber baron's cruelty may sometimes sleep. His cupidity may at some point be satiated. But those who torment us for our own good will torment us without end, for they do so with the approval of their own conscience. Thank you, Edward! Thank you, Edward! I couldn't remember the exact quote, probably because it's so goddamn long. Thank you! You never use the word, but in this woman case will make an exception. Fox woman based.